With social media, especially, the biggest message that we get right now is just about looks. Be beautiful. You could always look better. You could always buy this product. You could always get this procedure done, and you better do it now because time is ticking and you're going to look old soon, and then nobody will want you and you won't be valuable significantly. Is just as soon as I see a post or a person, an influencer or whatever, who I don't align with, maybe they make me feel some type of way about myself of no fault of their own necessarily, I just will immediately block, unfollow, or just usually there's an option where you can click the little three buttons at the top and it'll be like not interested in content like this. As a personal user yourself, I would just say set boundaries. And when you see content, check in with yourself and see, how does this make me feel? Like, what emotions are coming up when I'm seeing this person or this type of post or whatever, and doing what you need to do to remove that from
Yes.
your algorithm. I wish I didn't do that. I wish I didn't take that class. I always felt better after, but it definitely was just a chore to me. And I just thought it was something I should be doing. But fast forward 6 years later, 5 years later, during COVID. So I have struggled with health issues most of my life since I was 10. I don't think we've ever talked about this before, but I've had pretty, lengthy experiences with my gut and going to countless doctors, not being told any answers, being told that I'm making it up, nothing's really wrong, it's all in my head, et cetera, et cetera. I also have PCOS, which I don't know if you're familiar, it's polycystic ovarian syndrome, a hormonal disorder that impacts the way you process sugar, impacts your hormones and the way that you hold on to sugar and fat. So it makes you gain weight a lot of the time. And anyway, so I was on a journey where my gut was so bad. I had gained weight and nothing I was doing was getting rid of it. I felt like I was doing all the right things. I
Mm.
was going to CrossFit classes 4 times a week. I was doing all the cardio. I was eating like a literal rabbit. It was crazy. And I still wasn't losing weight. Eventually, COVID happened. Obviously, we're all stuck inside. We have nothing to do. I lived with 3 roommates that I didn't know who they were, and we did not get along. So I spent most of my time alone. And I just started doing yoga every day. And my girl, Yoga with Adrienne, I don't know if you know about her. She's like the biggest person on YouTube. She's amazing. But yeah, I just started doing her practices. It just started out a couple times a week and then it built up to every day. And I also stopped going to the gym completely, which I'm not saying I recommend, but I stopped going to the gym completely and then just started going on long walks. I was going on probably an hour long walk every day and doing yoga. No gym at all, no cardio, no lifting. And over the course of 6 months, 8 months, I just started to feel so much better. And also, I was losing the weight and I was not even trying. I totally gave up. I just was not even thinking about that. I lost the weight and I was finally feeling better. I remember being like, this is a miracle. I did not ever think that I would feel good again. And I, to this day, will say that it's because of the walking and because of the yoga, because my nervous system was on fire. I needed to calm it down. I was stuck in fight or flight, and all the intense exercise was really actually making it worse. And I needed to slow down. And so once I saw how yoga is such a beautiful thing. And to me, it wasn't about fitness at all. It wasn't about checking something off a list. It was finally I had a authentic intention behind what I was doing, which was I saw that it was benefiting my health. And so I wanted to keep doing it. That was genuinely the only reason. And I wasn't doing it to look cool. I was genuinely doing it in my like tiny, like little room in my apartment where no one could see me. It was all for me. And I will tell my students all the time when they ask, how do you stick with yoga? My number one piece of advice is find a pure intention. Find an intention that sticks with you and keeps you coming back to the mat that has nothing to do with looks or aesthetics or clout, any of that stuff. So, anyways, after I saw all that, it just made me very impassioned about yoga. And there's just this natural drive to want to teach other people. I feel like I'm sure you share this sentiment of when you find out something, when you have this like piece of wisdom, you're like, I just want to tell everybody because I want everyone to have the same experience. I wanted to help them in the way that it helped me. So, yeah, here we are.
I love your answer so much for so many reasons. But
Mm,
one of them that really jumps out at me refers back to what you were saying earlier to people about all the rules are made up
yeah.
and you don't have to go by the shoulds and the rules. And so what you're saying is that you really found your own way, you found your own path to your own healing. And now you have this passion and you want to share. And definitely share that with you. When we find a passion, we want to shout it from the rooftops. And I love that you found your own path. You found your own way. And now you are shouting it from the rooftops, and it's
Yeah.
so beautiful. And it also goes back to what you were talking about with social media, where your own intention really has nothing to do with the external and
Mm.
how you look. You have an authentic inner intention, and you're not doing yoga to check off an external box. And I love that it really ties together so much of what you said earlier about your path. And so I thank you. I could not thank you more for being here. I could talk to you for 5 more hours. I will
Same.
definitely have you back. Please, for everyone listening, if you are a parent, please share this with other parents, because whether you have a 3-year-old or a 13-year-old, your children are going to be 20 something one day. And there is nothing more empowering than listening to young adults. So if you're a parent, please share this episode. And if you know any 20 somethings, one of the greatest compliments Will, my son, has ever given me is, Mom, so many of my friends follow you. Mom, so many of my friends listen to your podcast. Mom, so many of my friends listen to your piano music. And I take it as such a compliment that
Yeah,
anyone in their 20s, any young adult would be interested in what I'm interested in. I take it as such a compliment. But
absolutely.
I would love more 20 somethings to get to hear you, because I feel so passionate that we need to have more and more and more platforms for individuals your age to have your voices heard. You all have so much wisdom, and clearly for everybody listening, you can see why I said that Mackenzie is a wealth of wisdom, and you are. And I just adore you, and thank you so much for sharing. And I can't wait to have you back.
I can't wait to be back. It's been so great. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So we'll just say until next time.
Yes. Until
All right, everyone. See you next week. In the meantime, give yourselves permission to thrive this week. Much love, everybody.